All right, here we are. It is June 22nd, day after the summer solstice, and just gonna give you a glimpse into the top. Gonna do things a little backwards today because I'm gonna make a split off of these girls, but I want to show you what they're up to. Oh my, look at that big old spider. Look at him. Oof. Some of the creepies. Ay, ay, ay. Down he goes. All right. So anyways, what I'm doing today is I'm not pulling honey. I'm going to make a split because it's after the solstice. I think the best of our bulk part of the colonies are built. And what I'm seeing in other hives is that the queens are already shutting down. Some of these outer frames in the brood chamber anyways, look at that. That's in 2 weeks. But anyways, so the other day I extracted. The ones with numbers on them are the ones I extracted. Weather was bad, so I couldn't put them back in where I wanted them. I like to kind of checkerboard as I go if I can. But, so I threw them in top. And look at the nectar in the third box. So, these girls are really cranking right along. I also found out that they cut part of the farm here, and looks like they're still doming that. It's kind of weird. So anyways, they cut down some of the fields, tilled it, and I think they lost some of their nectar flow. That's what I'm thinking. Not 100% positive, but that looks pretty good. I mean, they're putting honey up here. So they're gonna draw frames for me down below. These were being drawn. I left them right in the center so they'd finish them. Look at that. So I'm trying to get drawn frames along with the honey. So hopefully they just need to find another source. This is a heavy, heavy frame. Look at that beauty. That's 2 weeks. It's third box up. Whew, beautiful. And so I'm just gonna kind of go real quick through this one, kind of get an idea what I'm up for next week. I'm gonna harvest next week again, and yeah, they're not filling this. So traditionally they seem to be on my left hand side of the hive. Seems to be the nectar spot, hot spot. So I'm not going to mess with them. They're cleaning them up. I mean, you can see this one here. This is a good example of the bars. And they clean it back up. And usually what I like to do is if I extract 2 weeks in a row, I just come back in, and where I take the frame, I put in another one. I put in an extracted one. Kind of like checkerboarding. Because not only is it drawn, they can fill it right back up. But it is what it is. Weather wasn't on my side the other day, so this is what happens. So I'm just gonna kind of go right down the row here. Look at some honey frames today. And when we get down there, we can do a split. So that's cool. Let me just reset this so we can see. See more honey. That's what I want to see. So here we are. Could explain why they're so defensive last week. A couple hives I've already done already. Defensive this morning. I don't know if it's the timing because 8:30 in the morning and 65 degrees really isn't too early to be in a hive, I don't think. So there we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna bust through, kind of give myself, ooh, look at that. Well, look at some honey frames. Probably one of the coolest things about this is the honey part. The queen rearing is cool, but the honey part is neat, seeing how far they come along in a week. Plus, I wanna get down the next box down. I put that frame that was drawn, dead center. I wanna see what they did with that. I can only imagine that they just stuffed it, but oh, this is heavy. Look at how close that one is. So I'd say a week, Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. That was good. So we got some new frames in here. So they're doming these again. I mean, that one I could almost take because there's nothing in it. What's in it's capped. That's all empty. So part looks good. Just give you girls a little bit of smoke. I don't want to get you angry today. Gotta say, that video last week, I can't even hear myself. I apologize for that. Oh, this is stuck. Oh, look at that. Beauty. That's one for next week for sure. So we got some nice frames in the top. The second box. I was kind of curious about how many boxes I would need if I pull frames every week or every other week. But it seems like I can keep that. Look at that. That'll be done next week. All right, I'm not going to go any further. That's half on one side, so. Just kind of slide down. Put it back together. I really like to let them finish what they started. I know last year I just kept kind of feeding the new ones back in the center, but I think this year I need to focus more on getting some more drawn frames. So let's smoke these girls so they're not so upset. I'd like to make that split easy today. And put the inner cover on, and then you go right on top. Oh yeah, gosh, snap, crackle, pop. Ooh! They're definitely heavy. Some girls up here with some pollen. Shouldn't drop that down the bottom. Unless it's windy again. I don't know if that's going to have a factor like it did last week, but come on. Come on. Ooh, right up off the top. I know I squished a couple of you. Sorry, girls. That was from the other box. I know, that's why I'm cleaning it up. So let's fix this. All right, so last week I gave them these three right here. And in the bottom box, let's see what they did with them. Oops, a little bit more. That way I'm not killing you next time I put it back on. So let's see what they did. And this one right here, this crazy looking, I remember that. That's what I gave them last week. So you get a good idea of what they're doing with the frames in a week. And not even touching it. But if like I said, if I think the flow is really slowed down, or their main source that they were getting, I mean that's halfway out off of the, yeah, that's about halfway. That's doing pretty good. But I think the main source that they were going after might be gone, so they kind of had to start searching again. So here's a weirdly filled frame. Oh, this is one of my outer ones that I moved in. That's what it was. Okay. So anyways, yeah, so this is the part where you just want them to finish. And they don't seem to finish. I know, girls. I've got a couple upset. Haven't even gotten the bottom box yet. Oh, yeah. So if I was pulling honey, that would pull it because that's open. There's not even any nectar in that. So this would go. A little bit of pollen, that's it. Good breeze for the beekeeper. I don't know about the bees right there. All right, so that right here is another domer with nothing in it, so kind of weird. All right, well, that would go too. So there's two right there. Not to saying that they're full, but what's in it is capped. So, all right, this is the sign. This is our, let's see what they do in a week. Of course, I think the flow might have slowed. Absolutely, well, there's a little bit. They're leaving the dome open, unfortunately. But see how they clean that frame up? If you saw it last week, it was all pressed in, but they've made all the cells perfect again. So they cleaned it in a week. They just didn't fill it in a week. All right, let's just look at a couple more and then we'll move on. Moving on, let's see here, what do we got? There's a fatty. Oh yeah. Nothing in the bottom. Nothing in that dome right there, so they're just doming it again. Nothing else. Look at one more. Call that a... Plus I like to watch it and see what I... Watch these videos before I come back next week. Give me an idea of what I'm going to be taking. That's beautiful right there. Another week, finish that. See how fat that one is? Look at that. That is beautiful frame. But right there, like that bottom section's got some nectar in it, so. All right, well that's it. I'm gonna put this back together. You don't need to see that part, but next one's gonna be a split.